Welcome back, ladies, gents and Pikachus, to what was going to be another analysis and breakdown of the Koran of the Muslims. But I want to talk to you about something particular, which is closely related to my work exposing the evil cult of Islam and the criminals who are involved within it. I want to speak to you about grooming gangs in the UK, abducting and sexually molesting, gang raping 13, 14 and 15-year-old white working class children with full support and complicity from the government and the British media that has been happening en masse for 30 years in this country, England, Wales and Scotland. This is a problem that we never had in this country before mass immigration was an issue. This is an imported problem that started small but has spread its tendrils out into every city and town in this country. Women and girls are no longer safe. Those that go to the police and make their complaints online are called racists and see no support from the government. Virtually everyone stays silent on this issue because they are terrified of being name-called. They don't want to be called racist or Islamophobes. And the price we pay is these white working-class children being sexually abducted and gang raped. They are a price worth paying so that the Labour Party can wrestle power and stay in the government. And so our liberal working class elite, who are mainly white people, working with these Islamist jihadi terrorists, can remain in their nice, rich lifestyles. And it is disgusting. How much longer are we going to stand by, sit on our thumbs like a bunch of cowards and hypocrites while these disgusting criminals run our country and ride roughshod over the children, the innocent children of this country? Your daughters and wives and girlfriends and mothers are the targets. And we know this. But the media won't mention this. The BBC will absolutely never mention this, despite the fact that it has been known and documented. There is just a million tons of evidence, and more comes out every day. This book contains the guidelines, the actual commands from their God Allah in why this should happen. It is in Al-Nisa, verse 34 to 50, described as a traffic and trade of women, which is the bounty of Allah, a reward for obedience to his cause of the holy fucking jihad. Why are we putting up with this? And where does it go? Where does it end? I've been campaigning for so long. I have invested my whole life into this for nothing. I ask for nothing. I don't ask for a penny. Not a like, a share, a pat on the head, nothing. I pay for this. With my money, with my freedom, with my life. Because I care about this issue. How much longer will you make me wait before you care enough about this to actually get involved? You don't have to pay anything. I'm not asking you to don a black cape and jump from building to building, endangering your own life, risking your safety the way I have, the way other people in this country have, brave working class white people have. And what is our reward? We get called racists. We get derided as crazy. We have false accusations made against us, and we have our lives completely destroyed by these disgusting perverts, these Islam grooming gang psychos. And they're in the Labour Party, they are MPs, they are in the Citizens Advice Bureau, they are in the BBC, they are reputable people on the surface, they command great power. But underneath that shiny popular veneer, these are disgusting, perverted criminals and cultists who wish death upon all of us. And to ensure that they can keep control of that power, they target the young, specifically white, working class 13 to 15-year-old girls. And this has been happening wholesale for at least 3 decades. So I ask you, when you are watching Elon Musk or Nigel Farage, or you are watching The Spectator or the BBC, or you're reading the Daily Mail, whatever it is that you're doing or watching, the things you spend your time learning about, why are you not talking about this? Is it because you're afraid of being called a racist? Is that the reason why you say, diversity and inclusion matters, all religions are equal? No, they're not. If they were equal, this would be well known. Everybody has heard the Bible. Everybody knows every single name out of the Bible, every single prophet out of the Bible, every single story out of the Bible is well known, even throughout atheist circles, even in Islam circles, they know these things. How many of you have read and understood this, the Koran of the Muslims? How many of you understand the evils in this book, the commands of Allah, the holy jihad, which is being waged now? A war against us out of our own country. Their base of operations is the Labour government. The media arm of the Labour government is the BBC. The enforcement arm of the BBC is the Metropolitan Police. Sadiq Khan, for instance, is a highlight of their, he's a powerful person on that team. And we forget. Working class white children, girls, are described in here as targets, legitimate targets for this. They don't consider it to be criminal actions. They consider it to be judgment, holy judgment from God. That's what they call it. I'm sick of it. I don't care how many times these disgusting paedophiles and rapists want to call me as a racist, or they want to say that I am a crazy religious person because of my Christian values. I have never attacked anyone sexually or bullied anyone into voting a certain way. I have never manipulated and controlled people through a threat of violence and then said, this is God's holy judgment that is coming through me. I have never done or said those things, and I never ever would. So why are we letting Islam, Muslims, pour into this country while we pay for this to happen? Then they silence us. Why are we letting them do this? Just because we're afraid of being called out as a racist. These guys are the racists. We know this. This is a Tajweed Quran. This is the most modern version of the Quran, the most prettied up, romanticized, supposedly non-genocide-y, Western value, cultured version. This one here. Even this one is filled with disgusting criminal acts which Allah commands his Muslims to do. If they don't do these things, then they are apostates. If they don't, understand that. If they don't do this disgusting traffic and trade of white working class children, enslaving them for the purposes of gang rape, if they don't do these things, they are criminals. This is another version. This is a version from India. It's even worse. This is a Egyptian-born man turned Christian who did a translation. They threatened him with death and called him a gay Christian convert, specifically so they could have a fatwa against him and bar his entry from Islamic countries. Where is the news about this, BBC? Why does no one hear about this? Tommy Robinson's book, Mohammed's Quran, Why Muslims Kill for Islam. This has been out for 5-6 years. Why is this not spoken about? Why has no one read this book? Why is Tommy Robinson in jail being called a racist? Why is that being spoken about at length? But the white working class children who are being sexually gang raped now, who go to the police and get told it was a lifestyle choice that they made, is not being talked about. It's because we are cowards in this country now. We are hypocrites and cowards, and the white girls that we are sacrificing to these Islamic rape gangs seem to be a price worth paying so that we can be not called racist. Well, let me tell you this. You can call me anything you want. I will never rest until this is the priority issue in this entire country, and every single one of you knows it's them or us now. This is war, ladies, gents and Pikachus. W-A-R, war. They are at war with us, and if we don't pick up our weapons and fight, we will be defeated and destroyed. And the first victims of that war is going to be those innocent children, those white 14-year-old, 13-year-old girls, our daughters. So think about it. If you have a heart beating in your chest, no matter what religion or culture or nationality you are, if you care about innocent children being protected from these Islamic rape gangs who are running this country now in the government, then you better listen and react accordingly. This book, The Reliance of the Traveller, is the law code of the Islamic countries that tells them, and it's called Reliance of the Traveller as a proof, to go to Western countries and enforce Sharia under the cover of secrecy. And the playbook says anyone who brings this up and is an opponent gets pointed at and called racist, especially Christians and Jews. This will get worse and carry on the longer we sit on our hands like a bunch of cowards, protecting our own interests at the expense of these innocent girls. So get off your backsides, people, and get angry about this now. We need to be active. We need to remember what British values are, how our culture got to this stage, and arrest that backslide and make sure that priority one in this country is prevention of Islamic rape gangs. Whether or not they call you racist, it doesn't matter. Do you care about this or not? If you do, listen to this message, get out there now and learn everything you can about this. I will supply links. Drop everything and make this your life goal, because we need to put a stop to this now before it gets beyond the point of return, when we won't be able to stop it. And at that point, Britain is a Sharia satellite state, a breeding ground for paedophiles and rapists, and our children will be their victims. That's the end of this video. Listen to what I've said. Don't take my word for it. Like I always say, if you don't believe me, buy it and read it yourself. Arabic Quran. Buy it and read it yourself. Tajweed Quran. Buy it and read it yourself. Reliance of the Traveller. Buy it and read it yourself. Holy Quran Hafiz version. Buy it and read it yourself. Tommy Robinson's book, Mohammed's Quran. Buy it and read it yourself. The Noble Quran. Once you have done so and you've studied, you will recognise the racists are Islamic. The far-right Nazis are Islamic. The rape gang leaders, the paedophile bosses who are masquerading as politicians in the Labour Party are Islamic jihadis who are targeting us, and they see it as a judgment, not a crime. They say we deserve it because we are weak, cowardly hypocrites who don't worship Allah, and we deserve death. And our children should be killed also, unless they are women, in which case they should be sex slaved. Don't put up with this a second longer. Watch the videos that I'm going to link you, read the articles that I'm going to leave you, and prepare yourself to become active in this war. That's what this is. Don't make any mistake about this. They have declared war on us, but they are too cowardly to openly do it. So they sneak up behind us to draw the knife into our back. And the price we are paying is the futures of the children of Britain and our culture. So if you care about that, get off your backside and learn what you need to learn and become active. Regardless of the risks to yourself, it means more than that. This is about the future of our country. And we can win this war, but not if you sit on your hands and pretend that it doesn't matter. Look the other way and let the BBC force feed you propaganda like they have been for the last 30 years. They are liars and hypocrites. The government is complicit, and we factually know this. Make sure you study the things that I'm going to leave you, and we will take this fight back to these paedophiles, and we will beat them and return peace and justice to this country. That's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that and you learned something. God bless you all, and I'll see you lovely people in the next one. God help us all. This is a war, and we its soldiers. So if you do not want to be defeated and see your country in ruins, find your courage, and we will win this. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next one.